4 minutes after 11 o'clock, Jams in for Socrates today on Voices. As I had mentioned earlier this week, that I would be holding down the fort on Voices in Socrates' stead. And here we are. It's Friday, October 27th, TGIF. And I know there are issues on your mind. There are all sorts of issues in the news and things you may want to talk about. So this is the platform to do so. After all, it's called Voices, right? So we're going to get a word from our sponsors, TDC, Flow, and Rams. And we're going to come back and I'll take your call. So it's a free-for-all, basically. So I'll probably throw out a few talking points as we go along and things that I thought were significant that might warrant your attention, whether it's stuff in the news or ongoing issues, so on and so on. So don't forget the numbers are 4660989, 6620989, and 7620989. And we have two North American exchange numbers, 718-285-6984 and 305-921-4619. And if you live in the UK and you perhaps want to call, you can call 033-344-0065. To the break and hear from our sponsors.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Are you ready for the summer? Need a plan like no other. Stay connected when you're on the go.
Sign up for internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow. Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices, Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty, Rams is always here. We are community, we are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
And we're back for Voices, and here's hoping we'll have a nice exchange of ideas today. Let's hear your voice. Let's go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning, Jamster.
Hey, what's up?
I'm good. Jamster, I listened to Island Tea this morning, right, with the teachers, and interesting to learn what I think was it Miss Morton?
Yes, Colin Henry Morton.
Yeah. Right. No, it's in Jamster, the other radio station that Dr. Patrick Martin does be on a Friday. It would be interesting to see what they're going to bring forth this afternoon. And they do listen. So I'm waiting to hear what they're going to have to say, and I will have to give my input. You know, I listened to Carl question to Dr. Martin last Friday, and his response, and just as the teachers, they describe the behavior of them, you know, the laughing and all that. You know, let me say this, Jamster. We are known by our actions and our behavior. We have all kind of people today, and I've stated this before, our leaders. Now, I've said that all kind of first-class rec can be advisors. They can be advisors. And we know what is going right now, Jamster. Greed. Everybody is greedy. The teacher this morning, the younger one, says, you know, the way they're traveling. This has become an addiction. They love to be in the air. And you know something, Jamster? We have to move away from going along to get along with the system. And repeat this, Jamster. We need to move away from going along to get along. Look at us today, Jamster. We are signing on to everything that is of Europeans, and they have no use for us. We are just going along to get along with the system. When we become knowledgeable of who we are, Jamster, we can cripple this system. We can cripple the system. Jamster, I have something else I want to touch on, but I'll pause and I'll try and get back in later.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. That was our first caller. Our opening batsman, as they would say in cricket. Going along. I can. You know, that just stood out because that reminds me of a conversation I just had this morning, just before Voices. So yeah. Sometimes we have to be mindful of going along to get along, because the going along to get along might ultimately lead to you not getting along, which is ironic, right? Okay, so I await your calls. It's 11:11. Let me see if there are any issues, anything in the news that might attract your attention. Until we get some more callers. Let me see. So if you guys have been following the news, you would know that there's a story here in the Bahamas. A minister confirms that a 12-year-old schoolboy was found living in his car. Education Minister, wow, that's crazy. Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin has confirmed that school attendance monitors tasked with getting dropouts back in school had recently found a 12-year-old boy living alone in a car. She said that the child is now in the state's custody, but declined to provide further details. These are issues that we face. Now we can ignore it and turn the next way, but that will come back to haunt us and further hurt us. Anyhow, because a child should not fall by the wayside. So, these kinds of issues, clearly, they have a kind of dark universality, right? The bad and the good affects us all. And okay, so I don't see anyone on the phone lines. Don't forget you can call us at 466-0989, 762-0989, and 662-0989. And we don't have any calls at the moment, so I'm just gonna take a break, and we're gonna hear from our sponsors, Rams, TDC, and Flow.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
Campari grapefruit, easy for we. Brother, he no hard it, easy for we. Campari, he no cup, easy for we. Brother, he no hard it, easy for we. Add the Campari with the grapefruit soda. That easy, bitter had the pre. Simple mixer, easy 1-3. Campari grapefruit, that easy for we. If you mix a Campari grapefruit, add 1 part Campari to 3 parts grapefruit soda. Drink at the bar, on the beach, or when a girl reach. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
October, and the TDC Home and Building Depot has gone pink in support of breast cancer awareness. Shop in-store or online for our pink tag specials with up to 75% off selected items. And be sure to look out for our Flash Sales Fridays, where you get even more savings. Plus, every Saturday from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m., our team of health professionals will be in-house, offering free breast screening and the chance to win a free mammogram. So this October, remember to think pink. Think TDC Home and Building Depots. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Are you ready for the summer? Need a plan like no other. Stay connected when you're on the go.
Sign up for internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow.
And we are back. It's 11:15, and we did have a press conference which was held by the People's Labour Party yesterday, just by way of pointing out some things that might be fresh in the minds of citizenry. We had the PLP leader, Dr. Harris, laying out his, let's say, his criticisms and opposition to the way the current administration has been conducting itself. Earlier in the week, we also had the rolling out of the Creative Arts Center in a presentation given by the Minister Samuel Huggins. And yesterday, was that yesterday or was that the day before? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday we had the Minister of Tourism. We heard from the Minister of Tourism and the head of the Tourism Authority as we get ready for the upcoming season, and she outlined a lot of her expectations and the pushes that they were going to be making going forward in terms of improving the tourism product and improving stay over visits and the whole cruise business and so on. And so there are lots of things that we can talk about. It's just a matter of someone calling and getting the ball rolling. After all, the show is called Voices, not Voice. Right? So I want to hear from you. 466-0989, 662-0989, and 762-0989. Socrates is indisposed at the moment, so hopefully he'll be back next week, and he'll be back to hang out with you guys, hear your opinions, your thoughts, your comments, and so on. Now, the former Prime Minister, they had a press conference. I think it was either 2 or 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and it was pretty exhaustive. I actually listened to about maybe 20 minutes after the fact yesterday when I remembered after I got home. I think I listened to about 20 minutes of it, and it was the bit that I heard was, in his usual style. He laid out the bit that I heard. He basically was very cogent and very descriptive in what he thought the shortcomings of the current administration is in terms of the way they do things and so on. So I'm going to use the weekend. I'm going to use the weekend to listen to the whole file. It's, I think, the time I saw on that was like, I am pretty sure I saw 2 hours and 34 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I seem to recall that was the time I saw on that file. So that's a pretty long press conference. Let me see. I have it here. So, yeah. So that is something I'm definitely going to listen on the weekend, because I think that one of the issues I think we're having is that we're seeing a market weakness on the oppositional front when it comes to the People's Action Movement. And you are seeing what is arguably the ascendancy of a third party, which I'm pretty sure conventional wisdom would have said in the past that, this third party thing in St. Kitts Nevis couldn't work. I shouldn't say third party. Let's say fifth party, because obviously St. Kitts Nevis is 4 parties, right? 4 parties to begin with. We now have a fifth party, a third party on St. Kitts. And I think Michelina made a comment this morning about on Island Tea. She was saying how she was pointing out her, how impressed she was with the way the PLP has presented itself. And I'll add to that, and I'll say that, if the People's Action Movement is not careful, you are seeing, Michelina said something about Dr. Harris being at his peak. Yes, I would say that. And he might also be on the ascendancy along with his party. And I think that's something that bears discussing, because the People's Action Movement seems to be missing in action as far as responsible and effective opposition. And trust me, I'm not a fan of opposition for its own sake. I want to see reasoned, deliberate opposition that seeks to actually bring about change and bring about betterment for everyone, the common good. I'm always talking about the common good, and that's what any kind of political engagement at the party level should be about. It shouldn't be about greed and people trying to enrich themselves and so on. It should be about, when you're in government, it should be about the common good. When you're in opposition, it's about responsible opposition, responsible critique, responsible criticism, responsible engagement. And sad to say, we're not seeing that from the People's Action Movement. And the case can be made that the newest party is doing a much better job on that front. Voices, you're on the air.
Greetings, Brother John.
Hey, what's up?
Las Colonji here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you're talking about all the things that are affecting us, not only here, but globally, we have the African Consciousness Movement. We're calling for African unity. And we're starting right here in Sweet Liamiga and Oldie. We're talking about Pan-Africanism. This is the time for unity. If you don't want to unite with us amongst some core principles, then you're against African people's interests. So you have to make a decision. Unity. Yamoja, to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Yamoja means staying together. Now, when we look at the global situation and what is taking place in the world, is that whatever is happening globally is affecting us right here at home. Now, a lot of people is talking about how things are slow here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. But it's a global situation. And we people have to understand that, because our economy is directly tied into the metropolitan countries, because that's the way how Babylon set it up. And we have to come to that fact. Now, look what is happening in Israel, right? Straight up apartheid. What is happening in Israel, because it's going to have an effect on us, because even the Prime Minister talk about it. I think when he was on the radio some time ago, that the war in Ukraine, now there's war in Israel, and that's going to have an effect upon our people and our economy. So what I'm trying to show you now is that the only solution for us as a people is to come together as one. If you don't want to come together as one, all these political parties, whether it's Labour, PAM, PLP, NRP, whatever party, we are saying to you, we have an agenda, we have the same principles of Kwanzaa to guide us. If you don't want to deal with that, then you're against us. It's as simple as that. Now, when we talk about unity, when we unify here, we are also talking about unifying regionally, right, and internationally, meaning all black people in the Americas, right, in the so-called Western world. We are a nation, the Republic of New Africa, and we have to come under one heading. We can't have CARICOM, and we have in South America and these things. There's 500 million of us here in the Western world. So we are calling for the unification of all black people here in the Western world and those on the continent. So I'm saying to our people that we have to come together to protect our interests. You see what Israel is doing to the Palestinians. The Israeli general call them human animals. If they're going to call them human animals, what are they going to refer to us as? We name human animals, the worse than that. So I'm saying to you, the only solution to this pollution, as what Granny will say, is African unity, my brother. And our people have to understand that in the most realistic sense. Because, dig this, Hamas is a terrorist organization. Would you agree? Hello?
Oh, yes. I guess that could be one of the...
You agree that there's a terrorist organization?
Yeah.
But the ANC was a terrorist organization.
The who?
Nelson Mandela was the number one terrorist in the world.
Well,
so when you tell me, that's what I'm saying. We always take the Western narrative. Hamas is resisting oppression. Okay, let me tell you.
I see your point. I see your point.
The Israeli government created Hamas?
Well, I wouldn't say they created them. From what I read, they allowed them to they allowed them to...
funded them is them, bring them into existence.
Because they thought that as a religious group, as they presented themselves ostensibly as a religious group, and what I read was that the Israelis thought that they would be better to engage with than let's say a secular pro-Palestine organization.
Because that's what they use. They use them against the PLO. Divide and rule is the same thing they're doing us all the time, and we people ain't getting it. That's why I tell you that all these parties got to go. It's a divide and rule tactic. They created Hamas to offset the PLO. It's a reality. I have all the evidence here. Everything I tell you, I can present the evidence. So I'm trying to show you everywhere. It's the same thing here. Look, you see any native people in Sinker? The French and the English came together and liquidate them. And we see what happening in Israel. Palestine is being ethnically cleansed. It's genocide taking place, and people talking about Hamas is terrorists. Oh, Hamas, the ANC was a terrorist organization. Nelson Mandela, up to 2006, just came off the terrorist list, and he done dead. So I'm trying to show you it's the same tactic they're using on us all the time. Anywhere people are oppressed, we have to support them because we have been the most oppressed people in the world. So I'm saying to our people, if you don't want to defend African people's interests, you're against us. All these talk we're going on here locally about this, that, and this, that.
But let me be devil's advocate though. Why should we even take a side in this conflict? None of
because it's gonna happen to us too.
No. But you can't. No, but you can be mindful of what's going on without actively taking a side.
No, you can't do that, my brethren, because the Palestinian people support against apartheid. Is apartheid taking place? Everything is linked.
Yeah, but that's a let me explain how I see that dynamic. Take for example, Russia or any country always wants to be on this side of the people that their enemies are against. So it's not that Palestinians or Jews or anyone for that matter really like black people. It's just that they will
My
align
brethren,
they
listen
will
what I'm
align
saying
they
to
will
you,
align
Johnson.
themselves with
Anyway,
whoever.
people are oppressed. It doesn't matter who they be. They could be pink, white, purple, or
But what I'm
polka
saying,
dot.
what I'm
As
saying,
long as they're oppressed,
listen.
we have to show solidarity with them. Because they show solidarity with us. So you think apartheid get liquidated in South Africa? The progressive forces in the world supported the black liberation struggle in Africa. And the Cuban forces in Angola of the Battle of Kuta Carnival was mostly instrumental. And this thing spread globally. Look here, you know why the Palestinians struggle and getting no support? Because they're not black, they're not Palestinians in the West like black people. We forced President Reagan to put sanctions on South Africa. You have to show solidarity with anybody who's oppressed. It doesn't matter what their color are.
Yeah, I mean, we
Look
can-
at the Irish struggle against England. They show solidarity with us and we show solidarity with them. Oppression is oppression. You have no color barrier.
Oh, he doesn't really? Okay.
You see what I'm saying? We people got to understand these things. If you never for the liberation, if you never for the Cuban forces, you could consider Fidel Castro a white man. But when Nelson Mandela...
Well, he is a white, but he is a white, he is a white man. He's a descendant.
then.
He's a descendant of the European colonizers.
Solidarity with our struggle.
Okay, maybe. Although,
Not maybe it's a reality.
yeah, I agree.
Because if you never
been.
send them Cuban forces.
I've never been really a
to
fan of
Angola.
Cuba, to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. I've never really been a fan of Castro and Cuba and all that, and whatever. Because
But you never been a fan
Uh-huh.
because the problem with our people is that we get caught up in this American culture, and America is the one who is oppressing our people globally.
I'm not a fan of America either.
Oh, you're not a fan? Okay. Look at Haiti. You understand? Is America got Haiti, sir?
No, good. This is what we should be talking about. Let those people over there sort themselves out. This is what we should.
Yeah.
This-
I agree, but what I'm trying
This
to
is
show
what we
you,
should be
oppression
talking
is
about,
oppression.
Haiti, and you know. Okay, I think he got dropped, so we can yeah. So yeah, I like to call a spade, no matter whether the spade is gold or red, or green or blue or whatever color, or black or white. I'm gonna call a spade. I really think that we should be concentrating our energy on our problems. Let the Palestinians and the Israelis, the Ukrainians and the Russians sort their stuff out. Nothing to do with us. Voices, you're on the air.
Yes, Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, what Kalunji is saying that we need to come together.
No,
And that is a fact.
the thing is, man, we're actually on the same side, right? It's just that sometimes it doesn't seem so. But in broad terms, I agree with him.
Johnson,
Yeah.
listen. You see, we have to look at this thing holistically. There are distractions. The information is there. There are distractions because, make no mistake, Johnson, it's a war. It's a war, and the war has been brought to us. We are not a part of this war. The war being brought to us. The information is there. If we are going to go back in history and look at the footprint of Western civilization, colonizers and colonialism, they brought the war to us. Why? Because they were greedy. Now, Jamster, I said the other day on the air, our hearts are different to theirs, and it's a fact. We are killing ourselves today because, let us say, well, we're doing studies in their labs. Look at what we're eating now. Who knows of what we're eating? Even the unborn is being targeted today, Jamster. So, how we can bring an end to this? I become knowledgeable of who we are. Because, you see, we don't know who we are. And for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Jamster, we are the salt of the earth. I like to mix the two together, the event and the scriptures. We worship whiteness, Jamster. We worship whiteness because we don't know who we are. Colonization has given us a God in a book. And we are looking outside of ourselves. The God in the book is colonization, because that God in the book have blood on its hand. This is deep, and I'm very serious with it. I know the Christian community don't like to hear this, because the truth is more brutal than their lies. Let me repeat this. The truth is more brutal than their lies. There are so many fallacies and inconsistencies in this book that we gravitate to. And even when they are hinting, the truth is hidden in plain sight. Yet we swallowed everything.
Yeah, but
No,
but
let me say this quickly,
let me
John.
say this quick though. I don't think we can wholesale dismiss the Bible and say that the Bible, because Christianity existed in Africa before it was introduced to Europe.
But
So you can't wholesale dismiss the Bible.
before my credit run out.
I always push back on people who say the Bible is a white man's book. Yes, the white
Listen to
man,
this,
the white
Jamster.
man distorted it and omitted things to suit his purpose, but to wholesale and dismiss it
Sir,
is wrong.
I said
Go ahead.
something the other day to you, I think was earlier this week, and you said, well, God, he is God, if he give life, he should be able to take life. Jamster, listen to me carefully and follow me closely on this. The God of life is life everlasting, life eternal. He said in the word, now quotes and text again that is in the book, Jamster, I am not the God of the dead. Let the dead bury the dead. I am of life, the God of life. So what does that say to you? When I said what I said to us early this week, you said, well, God can, if he give life, he can take life. Life eternal, life everlasting is the creator, the true living creator, the source. The source of life is life. And God, the creator is the source of life, not the God of the dead. No. Back to what Kalonji was saying earlier, Jamster. The system that we are worshiping is when I say we worshiping whiteness, Jamster, if Chinese have colonized us, we would have been Buddhists. It is a fact. But because we were colonized by the British,
Buddhists
the God
are
of the British
atheists.
become
No, are
our God.
atheists. Are atheists. They actively try to stamp out religion in, especially
Jamster,
Western religions
the
in China.
footprints are there. And the same way that they tell us that the God in the book that have killed, well, look at their footprint. What they have done to our ancestors, Jamster. And then they tell us, love your enemy, do good to those that despite. This is where we are at today. We are worshiping whiteness. Because they put in a book, love your enemy, turn the other cheek, and do good to those that despitefully hurt you. And they tell us, and if you don't hate your mother, father, brethren, and come and follow their Jesus. I mean, Jamster, are we really looking at what is written as a benchmark for us to follow? I said, Jamster, we have to move away from the God that man have made and follow the God that made man, the God that is within you. Because you will procreate with your wife and you create life. Life is eternal, Jamster. That's my message to we as a collective. That when it says, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be. I don't like to use the word end. I say, so shall it be again, because we lost our identity. Thank you for hearing me, Jamster.
Yeah, great. Okay, great way in. Yes, I always like the fact that we have these, we have these conscious brothers out there like Africa and Journey and Kalanji, and their weighings are important because they're the vocal minority, and I know a lot of people probably roll their eyes and tune out when they speak, but we really need to listen to what they're saying because they're on the right path, and we just the rest of us just need to be a little more intellectually curious and intellectually honest and try and seek the truth, and also be a little more critical in the way we look at things, be a little more analytical in the way we look at how the world unfurls around us, and look at things critically, analytically, objectively. Come to your own conclusions. Let's go back to the phone lines. Voices, you're on. Okay. So we lost that one. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take a quick break and come back. All right. Okay. It looks like Simeon chose this moment to freeze. So we go back to the phone lines. Voices, you're on the air. Voices, you're on the air.
Greetings.
Hey, what's up?
Blessed. Everything up. Man, give thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Jamster, yeah, just one reasoning and the little reasoning to go forward, you know. The black and the white and the God and the book and the God in yourself, you know. And I just say, well, Rastafari is the thing where we got really suss out in these times. You understand? Is the thing where we now study, you know what I mean? And that is the thing we have to study, you know. We should study. If you check with me, I say, we can't dig this, right? Rastafari is Emperor Selassie. He was the king of Ethiopia, the only conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. And when the Bible they tell you that God in the Bible, right, going to carry a title in the last days as the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, right? So whatever name they want to ascribe to God, we look in reality in history, we realize that, well, only one man charged with a title, right? Officially, because as he was Emperor of Ethiopia, all the kings of the President Kennedy, all of them addressed him the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. That was the official title, you know. So this is the God where the people have to know. And then all the problem going to solve, you see. See, we look into politics, but politics will give us the mark of the beast. You understand? Because we don't talk much about the mark of the beast, right? But we know it's a reality. Because look today, we see money upon digital money, which means for access that, you have to get a microchip, whether in a car, a phone, or somewhere, in order for, you know what I mean? So he's showing you that all the things are gone, everything will lead forward to the mark there as long as we get it with this system. See? Rastafari come and reveal a new system, a new way. We don't have to go that way. You see? But that is the easy way, because that is the established way. You know what I mean? But we never stop to consider maybe, perhaps, the established way is the wrong way. You know, just like how you can find a lot of problems within the Christianity today, because that's the established religion, you know. Yeah, so if man read the Bible for themselves and check out history, put them together, a prophecy and history, you know, we can't forget the prophecy. See? Rastafari is the way forward for humanity. Now, the man show you say in the future, there's going to be two worlds. The world run with AI and the Stone Age world, you know. Man, I could choose which one they want. Give thanks.
Great. Okay. So that's another weighing there from Rastafarian. Let's take a quick break and come back with voices. I await your calls on the other side.
Found the sound 98.9 WINN FM.
Are you ready for the summer? Need a plan like no other. Stay connected when you're on the go.
Sign up for internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put a Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum and when me have in a me hand there. Give her a sip and she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
It's October, and the TDC Home and Building Depot has gone pink in support of breast cancer awareness. Shop in-store or online for our pink tag specials with up to 75% off selected items. And be sure to look out for our Flash Sales Fridays, where you get even more savings. Plus, every Saturday from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m., our team of health professionals will be in-house offering free breast screening and the chance to win a free mammogram. So this October, remember to think pink. Think TDC Home and Building Depots. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Back to the phone lines. Caller, go right ahead. It's 11:44.
Hi, good morning, James. How are you?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to weigh in on some of the idiocracy here in the way.
I actually can't hear what you're saying. You sound very muffled.
Hold on.
Can't make out
Hold on.
your words.
Yeah, could you hear me now?
Well, I'm hearing you, but
Could you
speak some more so I'll see if you're any clearer.
Okay. You hear me?
No, I was always hearing you. It's just that you were muffled before. But you'd have to
okay.
keep talking. Just saying, can you hear me doesn't tell me much.
Right. I was saying, I just wanted to weigh in on some of the idiocracy here.
Yeah, I'm still having a problem. You still sound muffled. I can't hear what you're saying.
I don't know.
Wow. I don't know
John,
I don't know if it's your phone or something.
Possibly. Okay. Can I call that?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Call back. Maybe if you consider changing your position and calling back.
Yeah.
That might help. Okay. Okay. So that caller is sounding a little muffled. I'm sure you guys picked that up. Couldn't really hear the words and well defined. They're kind of muffled and so on. So I await your calls. The numbers are 466-0989, 662-0989, and we go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the air.
Greetings.
Hey.
I'm taking the call. Okay. We want to find out something. It pertains to a name in the Bible. We don't say that name there. The first time prophetically that name there is recorded was given to a man who get a name change. That man before he was named Jacob, and then that name Israel was bestowed upon him after an encounter. You know. Now what we want to ask is the place internationally we see what go on with them was the war go on. And what we want to, when we hear the news, and we say Israel, you know, so they're referring to the people and a land named Israel. What we want to know is, we don't say how the name Israel come about and who it was given to. What we want to know is the place that is called Israel right now, what it was called before. Please, whosoever have that knowledge, please share it. The place that is called Israel right now, what it was called before it is called Israel. The other thing we want to touch upon is the bridge caller before me, not that one who you couldn't hear, the caller before the break, who was expounding that it's just Rastafari is the solution. We agree with you altogether, my brother. That is the way to go. And it don't really have no religious connection with it. It's just the ancient way of living for human being. But I want to, the sound that you made, that everyone has to, no. No. It never goes so. Everyone have to. It is the saving point of humanity, but it leaves to each and sundry choice of embracing. So we will prefer to say everyone or two, you know, but everyone now go embrace.
But let me ask you a question though.
Yes.
this is a sticking point with me with the whole Rastafari question, right? The sticking point
Yes.
for me is Rastafari. That's his given name.
Yes,
Rastafari.
that's what you
Yes.
says it. Yes.
He denied as he should that he's not God, but yet Rastafarians hold on to that. How do you
I beg-
address that?
Please,
Mm-hmm.
please, I have to stop in your chat.
I mean, why would he lie? Why would he lie? If he's God, why would he lie and say he's not God? That doesn't make sense.
Please, we hear you, but we stop you. Now, we met elders, lived with elders until even their transition in Jamaica. Who denied that? Who denied that ever took place? And the other thing is, there is a song. Everybody wants to be something or the other, but it's pertaining to being seen as God. Who, even if he did that, even if His Imperial Majesty did that, as I told you, elders denied that took place. That question was not posed. Things were said pertaining to Rastafari, way of life, and embracing the Emperor in his divine, immortal state. But that was never asked. But what we are saying that even if that question was asked, with everyone, with most of Earth inhabitants seeking that claim we like to be called God, who but the Almighty Himself can be so humble to deny? Are you with me?
So you're saying that you lie out of humility? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it doesn't make sense. Okay, it does make sense, but check it out. Go deep inside of it. When you pre-Earth inhabitants and you see the flexing of people individually.
I mean, if a doctor wants to help you, right? You have an emergency. A doctor wants to help you, and he's there, and you ask him if he's. We always have these incidents on airplanes. Is anyone a doctor? So what are you going to stand up and say? Oh, I can help you, but I'm not a doctor. When you're really a doctor, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, right?
You're twisting this thing,
No, but what I'm saying is, if he's God, why would he deny that he's God?
You're twisting the thing. I am saying that question was never asked, and I am saying if that question was asked, who can be so humble? Who can be so humble? Save the Almighty Himself. Because He said, I am the least, prophetically He said, I am the least amongst my brethren.
No one is questioning that Tafari Makonnen is not a descendant. No one is questioning that he might be a descendant of Solomon and so on. No one is questioning that.
You are speaking about devotees' claims of his divinity.
Mm-hmm.
That is what you're speaking about.
Because it doesn't really pass the smell test. Really, it doesn't make sense.
Pardon?
I say it doesn't make sense.
What does make sense?
Him being God.
No, listen to me. You see, when you stop, we surpass there. We do not see His Majesty as God. We see His Majesty as the majestic, listen to me very carefully, as the majestic King of all kings, Lords of all lords, conquering Lion of the blessed tribe of Judah. And if God is attached there, we say He is the God of all gods. You are limiting the way we are perceiving His Imperial Majesty. Don't limit us. It surpasses gods. There are many gods, All the clothes I got on, people worship as God. You know that? The house where you live in, people worship them things as gods. Yeah. We are saying that Him is Him. And it gone beyond God. You know, stuck on this God thing. No. If you're gonna, if anyone is going to attach God to His Imperial Majesty, they cannot stop by saying God. They ought not to stop by saying God. Whether that one is Rastafari or not non-Rastafari, that one should go on and say God of all gods. Yeah, that's where we carry it. Because we don't have no doubt in the divinity and the immortality of His Imperial Majesty, you know. Apart from his lineage, the progenitor from which he came, direct descendant from, you know the story. And the story is there to be known. It is no secret. We're not just attaching it there. Behold the perfect man. It is him. We don't, even if he deny his divinity in our presence, we are not going to take that denial. We know it's him. Rastafari is not no way of life that have doubt, you know. We don't believe, nor do we have doubt. This liberty is a liberty that is established upon certainty. Yeah, we know what we know. Just like that. Blessed love.
Blessed love, yeah. Always a pleasure, Elder. Yeah, we always we always have some good conversation, that's for sure. 5 minutes until noon. Voices, you're on the air.
Jamster, quickly.
Yeah.
Now, Jamster, we're sharing knowledge, right? And I appreciate Ras Eli and the first Rasta. But Jamster, everything that we encounter, it's a duality. Good and evil, right and wrong, up and down. As above, so below, as without, so within. It's a duality in everything in the human existence. We have God and we have the devil, and they are both in man. What do I mean by that, Jamster? The book teaches us that God is a spirit. Now, I use the word God loosely because as an African, the linguistic was not English. What I mean, Jamster, no one has seen God commit good or evil. All the acts that have been committed are committed by man. Now, if God is a spirit, what does that tell me, Jamster? We are all spirits before we became flesh. Let me repeat this. When the Most High said, let us make man in his image and likeness, who was he talking to? Do you believe he was talking to Father, Son, and Holy Ghost? In African spirituality and African culture, Jamster, it is mother, father, and child. Mother, father, and child. Western civilization gave us Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Son, meaning, what happened to the daughters? Are you following me, Jamster?
Yep.
Mother, father, and child. These are the things that we swallow without question. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Now, about our greatness, Jamster, the things that the Most High did by just even the thought and it appeared. I tend to go to the two brothers that made their offering, because if you go to Genesis 1, it says, I bless you, I created you in my image and likeness and bless you, and I give you herb for meat. Herb for meat, Jamster. The two brothers, Cain and Abel, offered up to the Most High one day. And Cain's herb for meat was rejected, and Abel had to slay a lamb, shed blood, and offer. And it says that it went up unto God as a sweet-smelling savor. Jamster, there is a tampering right there. Because right there is taking us away from an alkaline diet to eat meat that build up mucus and break down iron in the body. The fall of man, it is not a surface thing, Jamster. Because while those who were in ancient days had the ability to do things as the Most High, because of this tampering now, and put these things in a book that says you must now eat meat, and the command is in Genesis 1. No terms and conditions, Jamster. I bless you, and I give you herb for meat. All the provision was made in the earth for us. Herb for meat. We were to live in harmony with everything that is of life. Plant life, animal life, fish life, in harmony. Only later down in the book we hear, oh, there was in Egypt and after they left, they were calling for meat. And so we need to look at these things carefully because mucus breaks down iron. Herbs for meat would keep your body in alignment with nature. So we have fall in many ways. Our diet, Jamsa, look at today. I mentioned earlier that even the unborn are being targeted. Look at the food in our supermarket, Jamster. Okay. Whatever the mother eats, the child feed of it. So the unborn are being targeted. That's why when the youths are born today, instead of ascending, we have fallen.
Okay, we have to
eating GMO, Jamster.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, man.
Okay, great. It's midday. It is time for the WINN FM midday news, and voices will return after the break, after the news.
You found the sound. 98.9. WINN FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribbean.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com. When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness. It's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
With the WINN FM Midday News, I am Kevon Brown.
And I am Yulana Weeks.
Our top stories.
U.S. $6 million project to get underway at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport.
2 major entities come on as bronze sponsors for Sugar Mass 52. Coffee farmers in Jamaica call for assistance from authorities following heavy rain that affected a farming community. Internationally, on the U.S.-China chip war, China foreign minister visits Washington for talks. Now the details.
Kelly's Construction won the bid for the rehabilitation of the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport. According to Masha Henderson, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation and International Transportation, the airport's rehabilitation is needed and comes at an approximate cost of over US $6 million.
The cost of the airport rehabilitation project we anticipate to be just around 6.5 million US dollars, which is more than, well, less than what we met in place by the previous administration. 6.5 million is actually half of what was anticipated to execute the airport rehabilitation project.
Henderson said partners in the airline industry have also expressed that rehabilitation is needed. Some threatened to pull their services from the destination if the appropriate infrastructure wasn't in place.
With the increase, carriers such as JetBlue and all of the other legacy carriers who have expressed some concerns about their ability at the airport to effect maintenance to their aircrafts, we needed a solution, interim solution, of course, until we can look at the expansion of the terminal to make provision for them to do repairs. Hence, why the hangar project is going to be implemented. In fact, it's something that I met in place by the previous board. They had executed an agreement with a potential developer to have the hangar installed. We are not opposed to it. We find that there is a need for it. And that, of course, is based on what our partners are expressing to us.
Temporary work has been carried out at the airport as the government prepares for the rehabilitation project.
We understand that there is an overall need to expand the facilities and infrastructure at the airport. However, in the interim, and we are presently in discussions with persons on the expansion of the second terminal. However, for the upcoming season and to accommodate our partners in the industry, we thought that we needed to do some interim work.
The infrastructural improvements to take place at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport includes the rehabilitation of the parking apron, the construction of a hangar facility, the erection of a 2 megawatts solar plant with a 2 megawatts backup battery supply, and the introduction of the common use terminal equipment, CUTE.
The St. Kitts and Nevis National Carnival Committee recently welcomed 2 bronze sponsors for Sugar Mass 52, the St. Kitts Music Festival, and the TTC Group of Companies. Alistair Williams, chairman of the St. Kitts Music Festival, presented the $15,000 check to the director of Carnival, Clement Monarch Ogaro. The St. Kitts Music Festival is also sponsoring Ambassador number 6 in the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis pageant, Desnoreen Hanley. The St. Kitts and Nevis Carnival Committee also announced the TTC Group of Companies as a bronze sponsor, where Kashka Thompson, manager of client relations and marketing at TTC, presented the $15,000 check to Director Ogaro. Like its other bronze sponsor compatriot, the TTC Group of Companies is also sponsoring an ambassador in the Miss St. Kitts and Nevis pageant, Ambassador number 5, Miss Desan Maynard. The Federation is now 7 weeks away from the official kickoff of the St. Kitts and Nevis National Carnival 2023-2024, with non-stop carnival action from December 15th, 2023 through January 2nd, 2024. In regional news, coffee farmers in Jamaica call for assistance from authorities following heavy rain that affected a farming community. Television Jamaica reports.
Millions of dollars could wash down the drain if coffee farmers do not get quick access to their farms to reap their crops. Farmers in Mount Vernon Gap, Cedar Valley, St. Thomas say heavy rains since Tuesday have caused landslides which have blocked roads leading to their fields. They're calling for the authorities to help. Krista Campbell reports.
A danger for humans and animals alike traveling in Mount Vernon Gap, Cedar Valley, St. Thomas, or at least what's left of the roadway. Residents say it's been breaking away for a while now, but heavy rains since Tuesday made things worse, causing landslides and almost cutting off one section of the community from the other.
Nearly 2 years ago, you know, this farmer road there. Cut off already, I would dig it and then come with there and make a little track where I drive past and now it's cut off clean the area now. So we don't know how we are going to maintain the farm to come out.
No vehicle can come out here, nobody can come out. That you walk with it, that you walk with can't come across the place. So we're in a bad state, you know.
But the farmers explain they're desperate for help.
We're in the heart of the coffee crop now. Dust are ripe and rain fall every day. So we don't want to mind. That's something urgent.
And millions are going down the drain, man. Millions of dollars go down the drain right here now, you know. Because coffee the pantry and can't come out, you know.
We have a little shop around there, so no goods can't come over there neither. The farmers and coffee can't come out of the area. They have to drive way around Wilson Gap, go down to Richmond, go down to Churchgate, and then if you come back to Bethel, you know, so, and then you know, see what now, if you see the road to go on, this is another problem again.
School attendance has also been affected.
The children who are coming from Albion Mountain to travel to the Robert Lightman High School and the Cedar Valley Primary and Junior High School. What's going to happen? There's no electricity in the community at this time.
The people are frustrated that promises to fix the road have not materialized, even as they worry about emergency situations.
The amount of news team will come here, right? Member of Parliament come here, whole heap of vehicle all about spread off, and all the talk, everybody gone and like that now. So we cut off. Suppose somebody sick here now, where it go now? Suppose somebody did, you can't come out of the year and we strap now, you know. So I'll finish shop for lock up because we can't get no goods to come around, you know.
I've traveled this road many times about the same matter. But the document is at the Ministry of Local Government, and I'm awaiting a response from the minister to adjust the situation. We're not asking the local government ministry for money. The money is sitting in the parish council, St. Thomas Municipal Corporation. It is sitting there. But from the directive of the minister is that we can't touch emergency funding. So I want to know why we have a mayor.
Now, even as a tractor was trying to clear the roadblock, landslides continued. Attempts to cut some of the fallen trees also posed a threat to power lines, so some of the activities had to be discontinued until it is safe to finish clearing the area. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
We now bring you these international reports.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is in Washington meeting US Secretary of State Antony Blinken. He's also expected to meet President Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. Blinken told the UN Security Council on Tuesday he would work with the Chinese Foreign Minister to prevent the Middle East conflict from spreading. But talks with China are also expected to focus on trying to solve a range of other disagreements, including on trade. Well, only this week, tech giant Nvidia said the US government has told it to stop shipping some of its advanced artificial intelligence chips to China immediately. Those restrictions weren't supposed to come into force for a few weeks. Well, that's the very latest move in this ongoing technology dispute between Washington and Beijing. Anna Ashton, US-China Director at Eurasia Group, spoke to us earlier, and I asked her for the latest on this trade war, especially about the technology element.
It is positive in the sense that this is the first reciprocal visit from a Chinese leader in months after many visits by senior U.S. officials to China to try to encourage the infusion of greater stability into the relationship. Clearly, both governments are signaling that that's what they want. But, the trade agenda, I think, first of all, it's important to recognize that trade isn't part of the architecture that the two sides have established for working groups. So even though there was an economic working group meeting early this week, the first one, there's no role for USTR, and that makes it difficult to imagine exactly what positive trade agenda could be on the table. And then second of all, obviously there is this continuing deepening tech competition, regardless of the fact that both sides want greater stability. This is still a competition or even an adversarial relationship, depending on who you talk to. And the U.S. has rolled out additional export controls on shipments of technology to China, especially things like semiconductors and AI. China has responded with export controls on raw materials, critical minerals like graphite. So that's likely to continue to escalate, and I'd be surprised if they make progress on it.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. I mean, China will no doubt push for some kind of concessions. I mean, how likely will there be any wriggle room at all potentially on that, do you think?
I don't think that there will be any. I mean, I think the reality is that the U.S. side has been pretty clear with the Chinese side in previous meetings over the course of the last several months about the fact that, adjustments to the restrictions rolled out last year were coming. They could have been worse than they were. So in some respects, China was probably a little bit relieved at what was announced. But at the same time, I do expect that this will continue to be a top line, high profile thing that the Chinese government pushes with the U.S., both in these meetings and probably at APEC next month.
And we go straight back to the UN General Assembly in New York, where the representative of Jordan is currently speaking.
It is adopted, and it's essential to emphasize that in the event of the adoption, ES-10 would only be temporarily adjourned immediately following the conclusion of the debate. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the distinguished representative of Jordan. The representative of Jordan has moved that the debate on agenda item 5 be suspended at 3 p.m. today for the Assembly to proceed to the consideration of draft resolution A/ES10/L25, and that the debate would continue after the action on the draft resolution. It is my understanding that, without setting a precedence, and given the urgency of the issue, if the Assembly were to decide to suspend the debate on agenda item 3, at 3 p.m., for the Assembly to proceed to the consideration of draft resolution A/ES10/L25, and to continue the debate after the action on draft resolution, and if the Assembly were to adopt the draft resolution later today, that the 10th emergency special session would be adjourned temporarily following the conclusion of the debate on item 5. Is there any objection to the motion? It is so decided. Before proceeding further, I wish to address the question concerning the majority required for the adoption of the draft resolution. In light of Article 18, paragraphs 2 and 3 of the Charter of the United Nations, is there any objection to taking action on draft resolution A/ES10/L25 by a 2/3 majority of the members present and voting? I see no objection. The 2/3 majority of members present and voting is therefore required for the adoption of draft resolution A/ES10/L25. The 2/3 majority of members present and voting is therefore also required for the adoption of any amendment to the draft resolution. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
You're listening to proceedings at the United Nations General Assembly. We're going to break down everything that's happening for you. We have Al Jazeera's correspondent Gabriel Elizondo, who is standing by at UN headquarters in New York. And we've got the pleasure of having Al Jazeera's diplomatic editor, James Bays, with us in the studio. Gabe, I'll start with you. We listened to the last few minutes of proceedings. Explain to us what we heard. The speaker was saying the debate on the draft resolution on the Gaza war will be suspended, if I'm getting all this right, at 3 p.m. They're speaking Eastern time, so that's in over 4 hours. The debate will be suspended, and I believe that's when they would then proceed to a vote. But run us through the steps.
Yeah, that's right. Essentially what happened here was a procedural maneuver here. So let me just explain it. Today, there are more than 100 countries on the list that want to speak about this resolution. That could go on for a very long time on Friday, perhaps even into Saturday. So what the Jordanian ambassador did, who is sponsoring this resolution with 43 co-sponsors, is he asked the president of the Security Council, no matter where we're at 3 p.m. local time, that's 19 GMT, can we please request to stop the debate and take a vote at that time? With no objections, the president of the General Assembly, as you just heard, said yes. So essentially what you have here is pretty simple. They're basically saying we're going to go on with the debate. We'll go on hearing from speakers, but at 3 p.m. local, 19G, we'll stop and we'll take a vote. That's essentially what just happened here in the General Assembly building.
What does the vote then look like? So it'll be at 19 GMT, just over, I said 4, it's actually over 5 hours from now. What would that vote look like? I don't mean the results. I just mean what are we going to be seeing at that point?
Unlike the Security Council, where in the Security Council, when votes are taken, the ambassadors simply raise their hand, yes or no, or raise their hand if they want to abstain. Here in the General Assembly, there are 193 members. It's a lot of countries represented here, of course, the entire United Nations body, if you will. So when votes are taken in the General Assembly, it's done electronically. There's a big screen where all of the display of all the votes are put on a big screen, either green voting for, red voting against, or abstaining. All the ambassadors have and representatives have something they can click to register their vote. It's very simple, it's pretty quick, and it's very transparent. So we'll get the vote totals very quickly after the vote is called.
Here's what's been making the business headlines in sub-Saharan Africa this week. The United States should make changes to its flagship trade initiative with Africa, a senior U.S. trade official said. The African Growth and Opportunity Act, or AGOA, was launched in 2000 and is expected to expire in September 2025. Assistant U.S. Trade Representative for African Affairs, Constance Hamilton, said the aim is to increase its impact as part of a potential extension by Congress, saying that while some countries have benefited greatly from AGOA, the majority have not. Zambia said on Thursday it had reached an agreement in principle on restructuring $3 billion of its international bonds with a key creditor group. That's a milestone in a drawn-out debt rework process and would see claims on 3 existing bonds restructured by issuing 2 new amortizing bonds, in which repayments go towards both interest and the principal. Kenya's Nation Media Group has warned that it expects earnings to plunge by more than 25% this year. The company, which operates newspapers, broadcast stations and online sites, blamed relentless increases in prices of basic commodities, including fuel, amid a steep weakening of the Kenyan shilling against the dollar. Botswana's state-owned Okavango Diamond Company has temporarily halted its rough stone sales, its managing director said on Tuesday. That's part of an industry-wide drive to reduce a glut in diamonds, caused by lower global demand for jewellery. And finally, the World Bank said on Wednesday its board had approved a $1 billion loan to help South Africa reform its energy sector. The country is grappling with regular power cuts that are hampering economic growth. The bank said in a statement that it wants to see state-owned power utility Eskom restructured and a transition to a low-carbon economy.
Survivors of the October 7 attacks traveled to Brussels to urge the EU to continue to back Israel's war against Hamas. But European leaders did not need much convincing. While they agreed to a need for humanitarian assistance to the besieged Gazans, they did not call for a ceasefire, nor condemn the thousands of civilian deaths as a result of Israel's bombardments.
Israel is a democratic state guided by very humanitarian principles, and so we can be certain that the Israeli army will respect the rules that arise from international law in everything it does. I have no doubt about that.
But the 27 member states are far from united. Countries like Spain, the Netherlands and Belgium were more critical of Israel's actions.
Israel has a right to defend itself, but it can never be an excuse to cut people from the necessities to survive. And so the blockade of Gaza is something which is unacceptable and which should be stopped.
The EU is calling for an international peace conference to be held soon.
A long and heated debate just to decide on the words humanitarian pause or pauses shows deep divisions within the EU when it comes to Israel. Some call the bloc's weak response double standard when compared to how the EU reacted after Russia invaded Ukraine.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, perhaps feeling overshadowed by events in the Middle East, urged EU leaders to continue their support, making it clear that both wars are a threat to stability in Europe. Step Fasten, Al Jazeera, Brussels.
You were listening to the Midday News on WINN FM 98.9. The headlines?
U.S. $6 million project to get underway at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport.
Two major entities come on as bronze sponsors for Sugarmass 52. Coffee farmers in Jamaica call for assistance from authorities following heavy rain that affected a farming community. Internationally, on the U.S.-China chip war, China foreign minister visits Washington for talks. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINN FM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribou.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured. Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM.
Did you really think cybersecurity was just not for you? Think again. The threat is real and everyone can fall. It's time to get ready and protect your business. At Cable and Wireless Business, we are the top local partner with global cybersecurity expertise. Cybercrime will not stop us. Visit stopthenextattack.com for more.
And your weather is brought to you by Cable and Wireless Business. You just heard from Cable and Wireless Business. Here's Trent with your weather.
Over the next 24 hours, the combination of a surface trough being enhanced by a persistent upper-level trough will maintain a heightened chance for shower and thunderstorm activity across the area during that time. Today, mostly cloudy skies with periods of showers. Some showers could be moderate to locally heavy at times, accompanied by thunderstorms. Tonight, cloudy skies in general with periods of showers and a moderate chance of thunderstorms developing. Sunset today will be at 5:42 p.m., sunrise tomorrow at 6:07 a.m. That's your weather forecast for today, which came to the kind compliments of CW Business.
Did you really think cybersecurity was just not for you? Think again. The threat is real and everyone can fall. It's time to get ready and protect your business. At Cable and Wireless Business, we are the top local partner with global cybersecurity expertise. Cybercrime will not stop us. Visit stopthenextattack.com for more.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 WINN FM.
Are you ready to transform your bedroom into a haven of dreamy comfort and affordable luxury? Well, get ready, because Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store Bedroom Set Sales Event is here. We believe that your bedroom should be your sanctuary, and we're making it easier than ever to make that dream a reality. During the entire month of October only, get 20% off all cash purchases on a wide range of exquisite bedroom sets. Hurry in today to Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store and let us help you create the bedroom of your dreams. Don't miss out on this incredible dreamy comfort, affordable luxury bedroom set sales event and get 20% off all cash purchases, putting comfort and luxury within your reach. Remember, at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store, we make dreams a reality. Don't wait. This event won't last forever. Visit us now. Terms and conditions apply.
It's 12:33, and welcome to the second half of Voices, brought to you by Hosford. And we've heard a mix of topics this morning. I wanted to play Minister Samuel Duggan's his words on presenting the plans for the Creative Arts Center, which, in case you don't know, is going to be located along the, I think those hills are called the Needsmas Hills. That ridge of hills across on the eastern side of the Bastille Valley National Park. Well, the Creative Arts Center is slated to be built along those hills, nestled into those hills, and it will be more to the right of the Bailey property up on the hill there. But I wanted to play Samuel Duggan's comments, so I'm going to bring those to you right now. One of the things I wanted to point out is that the developers, the minister, and Marcia, she's one of the creative economy specialists in the Ministry of Creative Economy. They took pains to point out that the plans as laid out, were subject to critique and of course change based on the critiques and the comments received by the creatives. And throughout the presentation, there were of course questions which the developers answered and clarified. So I'm gonna play Minister Duggan's comments as he introduced the plans for the Creative Arts Center. So here we go. These were his comments. Okay. Okay. I'm having okay. I think I see what.
But just to make special mention of my hard-working permanent secretary in the Ministry of Sports and the Creative Economy, and the rest of the hard-working staff for ensuring that the creatives always have a home and an outlet, and a hard-working and dedicated team to support the actions. Now, I sit here tonight a bit nostalgic, because I could remember somewhere around 5 years old saying to my mom at the time that I wanted to become an entertainer. And I remember being chastised and hearing that that's not something to want to become. Now, looking at it, it was a blessing in disguise, because what that allowed me to do was to change a bit of my focus and be a bit more intense on academics. And I was able to graduate primary school, high school valedictorian, and I was able to move on. But life has a funny way of bringing you back to your goals and your dreams, right? Because here's it today. I sit here honored to be the minister of the creative economy. And not just to be the minister, but a minister to be delivering the Creative Arts Center. For years, I've provided a home for entertainers through Island Expressions. And for years, I had to go through the struggles of finding places to host entertainment gigs. For years, we've had to struggle with venue operators and owners trying to negotiate a space that we could have some sort of a place that we could express ourselves and showcase our talents. I struggled with that for near 15 years, month after month. Today, we're here to set permanent residence. We're here to put a foundation that our creatives can look at and say, that's my home. That belongs to us. I couldn't have a prouder moment. And not just because we're getting a home, but it will be the best home in the entire hemisphere. I could not be more proud. And so I want to thank all the players involved. I want to thank Farron and the team of developers that would have worked diligently on this project. I want to thank the Prime Minister and the rest of my cabinet colleagues, where I just had to leave cabinet to be here, for their support in this endeavor. I want to thank the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, particularly the people of St. Christopher IV, who elected me to help to be part of this vision and this delivery. And I want to thank you, the creatives, who would have been my support for years, whether it was Zidane, the artist, whether it was the promoter, whether it was the producer, whether it was the writer, the designer. In every facet, you have supported me along the way. And this is just but a token of me returning that support to you. And I hope that tonight we could see it fit to put our ideas to ensuring that this is a masterpiece with the full contribution of every single one of us. And a masterpiece that we can look forward 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now and be proud that we were a part of delivering that. And so without any further ado, I would again like to say thank you to all of you and reiterate how much of an honor it is to be the minister able to bring this to this position at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Duggins. And I just want to remind you to let your passions and all the struggles that you've been through as a creative to drive you to making all the negotiations possible to deliver. I have on my paper #delivery. And I want to let you know that as creatives, we are going to put fire under your feet, not even foot, your 2 feet in getting this done. Because I believe that you feel what we feel, and I know if you don't do anything else in the next, well, a year done gone, 3 to 4 years, this must be done. Put your name, set your legacy. We pray for the support. We will be the support, the scaffolds, 110%. So we're working together with you. The season is now, and you are ripe for it. We continue, and Mr. Farron Lawrence will now introduce our developer.
Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. First, please allow me to adopt the protocol so ably established before, except to special recognition to my good friend, our minister here. Always a pleasure working with him. We have been working together on this project for almost a year now, and it's really a pleasure to work with the minister. My duty here this evening is a simple one, essentially to let you know who the developers are behind this project. I'm going to start by telling you just a little background of who they are. The first one is a gentleman by the name of Cyrus Motivasal. He lives in Dubai. He is a lawyer by training. He's actually Dr. Cyrus Motivasal. He has a PhD in international investment law. The other gentleman his name is Fahim, Abbas Fahim. He is an engineer by training. He has done many major projects in Dubai and those parts of the world. And I have to give you some background about these gentlemen. So both gentlemen became citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis through the Citizenship by Investment program. And immediately, it was not enough for them just to have the St. Kitts and Nevis passport. They started looking to see, what can we do in this country? How can we make a difference? And the first thing they did was, if you're familiar with the Imperial Bay, right next to Koi, that's the first project we did together. So these gentlemen have a track record of producing. When they set out to do something, they do it. This project came up, we discussed it, we thought it was a good idea, something that the country can benefit from. They wanted to do something that would benefit particularly the youth, and so this jumped out at them. And immediately we set about working to get this project going. I've had the privilege of working with these gentlemen for the last 15 years, so we go way back. The project that you're about to hear about is one that is very similar to one that they've done in Dubai. I think it was this year myself, or last year? This year, myself and the minister, along with some others, went to Dubai to look at that facility. You're talking about a facility, one of it's a major facility in Dubai that they have created. They designed it, constructed it, and are actually operating it. It has large spaces for events, games, restaurants, similar to what they're proposing to do here. So I just wanted to give you some background to put in perspective who we are dealing with. We are dealing with very honorable, serious gentlemen who know what they want, set about to do it, and I think we are going to be very pleased at the outcome of this, just as we were similarly pleased with the outcome of Imperial Bay project. So without further ado, I'm going to turn over to technology for them to introduce themselves further and the project. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, are you hearing my voice?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Hello to everyone. My name is Melika Askari, and I'm glad to have the honor to tell you the overview of this beautiful Cadence project on behalf of Prime Developments and Zomorodi and Associates Architectural Studio. If we can flip the pages with me, we can start from the first page with all the story and move forward. Can you have the access to the PowerPoint or PDF? Yes, thank you. First of all, in the first page, you can see the overview of the Cadence project. The Cadence Art Center project is a massive undertaking that aims to create an iconic landmark in St. Kitts and Nevis. In the second page, you can see the site plan, which is showing the project integrated with the nature and with the roads and all the entrances that are welcoming the guests. The center will be spread over 7 levels and will cover a total area of 32,800. We can switch to page 3. Yes, the project is located on a land of 28,648, and as you can see, it's in 7 levels. You can go to page 4.
Okay, so that's a bit. I want to play you some more, but I always always have a problem playing with replaying audio that's married to video. But then if you're replaying it where people can't see what what the presenter is talking about, it doesn't really make much sense. So what I might do is I'll go down further, and I'll maybe play some of the comments that the creatives made. I think that might be more interesting. But it's a very so the building is going to be called. I'm thinking the working title is the Cadence Center, which I actually like the name. It's a really nice name, and I must say, I gotta say, I like the building. I'm a sucker for modern buildings, so I know many of us are very traditionalist and maybe utilitarian in our maybe our sensibilities when it comes to what buildings are supposed to look like. I like the fact that the building is form-wise, the building is beautiful. It's very modern. It's radically modern, especially for I think our milieu where we have a lot of we have a lot of ugly buildings, right? A lot of ugly traditional buildings, buildings that are almost buildings that are very utilitarian. I mean, take for example, if you take for example, like I always wondered why, for example, you look at TDC and maybe TDC might be that might be the best example. I always wondered why in building buildings like that they always have to look like this drab. They always have to have this drab warehouse look. I mean, if you have a big box store, why don't you just go for broke and make an interesting looking modern buildings? I think Hosford may have done a better job in terms of the Valley Mat area. Although I still have my problems with that building architecturally. The Central Bank, in my opinion, is probably one of the most interesting buildings we have here from a farm standpoint. I'm not really big on traditional design, sorry to say. I think they're boring. No, and I should what I should say is that, having said that, if you have the form thing down, as long as function is addressed, meaning the building is practical and ergonomic in its design in terms of affording ease of use in terms of what the spaces are designed for, then I'm good. If the form is nice and you have the functionality down, that's great for me. So I do like the building. I imagine it takes some getting used to looking at it. My wife was saying that we were discussing it the other night, and she was saying, well, it's not very cultural. So I'm like, she's saying it's not very evocative of our culture. These are my words, evocative of our culture. And so I said, well, what does that mean exactly, evocative of our culture? Is it supposed to look like it's made of bamboo, or is it supposed to be another boxy monstrosity made of concrete with wood put on top of it just to look like some architecture from our colonial past? I said, is that what you're saying? And I think she kind of agreed my point that why should we always be rehashing the past? And what exactly does our culture look architecturally speaking? Because let's face it, our architecture came from the colonials. So I mean, if we're going to use that argument, this is a post-colonial period. This is a post-colonial period as far as I'm concerned. The architectural advances always come from elsewhere. We have to be practical. If we're going to build a building, and we're going to do a building that is going to be housing our creatives and our cultural pursuits and in the arts and so on. What's wrong if the building is maybe even radical in form? I mean, what does saying it doesn't reflect our culture even mean? You know what I'm saying? This building, in my opinion, the Cadence Center, if it's built as it's presented, I feel like this could be a huge tourist landmark, because a lot of people are gonna come and they're gonna wanna take pictures over there in the Bastille Valley National Park with the building in the background. I always feel, people tell me if I'm wrong, think of all the iconic buildings that define a lot of world cities. When you see that building, you know, when you see the Sydney Harbour Opera House, you know that's Australia. When you see the Statue of Liberty, you know that's New York. And then, you know, of course, New York has a whole bunch of other buildings that when you see them, they are sufficiently iconic in their uniqueness that you see them and you know automatically, oh, that's such and such a city. So what is wrong if we have, and I'm sure to some degree maybe our central bank building may even have that iconic cachet in the Caribbean, where someone sees a picture of our central bank, maybe they're coming down the airport, they're here for a conference, and they go down the Kim Collins Highway, they see the central bank, and they're like, oh, that's a nice building. Well, is that the East Caribbean Central Bank? Okay. And then when they see it after that, they see pictures, they say, oh, that's St. Kitts, that's the East Caribbean Central Bank. So why can't we have a funky looking building? Another even more funky looking building and radical in its design and form to help put us on the iconographic map. Let me put it that way. Because let's face it, a lot of other countries have that. So the building will be serving two functions. It's creative and artistic function, as well as providing some, let's say, some national iconography from an architectural standpoint. That's just one of the ways I was looking at it. I mean, the developers, I should say, also mentioned that they have a phase 2, and the phase 2 will include the building out of the Bastille Valley National Park with the running trails, and they talked about all the other things that I think even the previous Labour government and Team Unity had talked about, things like running trails, maybe picnic areas, and they talked about phase 2 incorporating building out making the Bastille Valley National Park, the area which will be directly west of the Cadence Center, making that a reality. So phase 1 is the Cadence Center. Phase 2 will be, I guess, all the things that will come as part of the Bastille Valley National Park. And you could say it's green space potential. And so that's going to be phase 2. So I find that to be very interesting. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to see if I can find a few of the other questions where creatives pose their questions to the minister, to Marsha, and to Farron and the others. And I'll bring some of those to you just as food for thought. And of course, feel free to call at any point. So it's 2 minutes to 1 o'clock. This is a good time to have a break. Let's take a quick break. and we'll come back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
Here are your Hartsford Value Mart IGA specials.
Running October 19 to November 1st.
The more you shop, the more you save.
In October, get double points on dairy and grocery non-food items.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Essential Everyday Dry Roasted Peanuts, $11.99. Mott's Applesauce, $3.79. Nature Valley Granola Bars, $9.99. Yoplait Yogurt, $3.99. Stone Ridge Ice Cream Sandwiches, $19.99. Essential Everyday Trash Bags, $11.99. And now, our very low weekly
value deals. Essential Everyday Ketchup, $4.99. General Mills Honey Nut Cheerios, $14.99. Essential Everyday Cream Cheese, $7.99. Munoz Pasta, $5.99. Almond Breeze Almond Milk, $9.99. Irish Spring Salt Bars, $12.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart, and get the double points for more rewards today.
Continuamos en el mes de octubre con los puntos dobles y las recompensas. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
And we are back. I was playing you guys. I played you guys some of the moments from the rolling out of the Cadence Center. That's the Creative Arts Center, which is scheduled to be built in the Needsamus Hills area. That's on the eastern side of the Bastille Valley National Park. So it'll be sort of nestled in those hills that separate Needsamus from the Frigate Bay area, Frigate Bay Half Moon area. Now one of the things that I remember, one of the things that the first things I thought when I was watching the, okay, let's take a call. Let's take a call. Okay, man, I'm trying to take this call. Okay, hey, caller, go ahead.
Greetings again, Jamster.
Hey, what's up?
Kalunji again.
Yeah, hey.
Now, what I was saying before, right, is that the main tactic of our down pressers is divide and rule. So what I'm trying to show you, they will use anything to divide and rule. That's why we got political parties. We need to be on one page. How come you want to tell me?
Kalonji, we have some other. Kalonji, I have a bunch of calls. So, you made the point. Let's move to another call. You can call back. Caller, go right ahead.
Hey, Jamster, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
Avid listener here.
Mm-hmm.
About your point regarding the design of the building. As an architectural student myself, one of the concerns I typically have with regards to building architecture and specifically the design of buildings is persons misconstrue this concept of modern. Modernism is not necessarily a specific type of design. It takes certain principles and adds them to the structure. But in doing so, it also takes critical aspects of architecture that is part of the vernacular of that region, and they form a unique language that addresses structure, circulation, and climatic conditions. Many a time when you look at modern architecture in the region, if it's not a real trained architect, you can tell it's just someone flexing their ego, trying to show that I can come up with the most elaborate structure. But it does not address the critical issues of, again, the three cornerstones of design: structure, circulation, and climate.
Yes.
And in doing so, many a time you see that these buildings are not effective, because then you have issues of high energy bills because they don't have shading devices, etc., etc. And, you know, we all know the different aspects of Caribbean buildings that address issues of rainfall, shading, etc., etc.
Yes.
Now, as it relates to commercial buildings, modernism is the way to go. But again, taking the whole idea of what is called critical regionalism in design and applying it, I think that is where the language of that design then becomes a beautiful thing. Now, to your point in terms of having an iconic building, you can have an iconic building in St. Kitts, but again, it still addresses the issue of climatic conditions and even speaks to the language, as that person mentioned, in terms of our vernacular, but doing it in a more modern way.
Yes.
So, you know, when we make certain statements about it being modern, we always should take that into consideration.
Yes, and the practical side of being modern, because, well, that you could say by definition that's being modern, because you would like to think that as we progress, we are moving towards efficiently addressing all the shortcomings and the requirements needed to make a particular space work, right?
And also
Sort of,
utilizing more modern materials
exactly,
that make the structures function more efficiently for us.
And, you know, if I'm being honest, the first thing that crossed my mind when I saw the building was, I'd like to see, and this wasn't really addressed in the presentation, but I imagine that will come in the future, because they did speak to the fact that there were a lot of aspects of the building that were kind of glossed over, and not out of any malfeasance, I think, just, you know, for the sake of time, and a lot of it, you know, it would require going down in the weeds technically, and so the first thing that crossed my mind was, okay, you know, that's the aquifer, you know, one of the main aquifers for Bastia, if not the main one. And I thought I would love to see how they're going to be addressing waste treatment, sewage, you know, that kind of thing, because that's the obvious thing. And then we did have an architect. I think I'm going to play that next, actually. An architect, Darian Fleming, he actually he actually asked about some of the things you just mentioned, things like shading and ventilation and so on. And I remember thinking at the time too that the building is beautiful, but I just hope that it will. I just hope that the rigors of our particular climatic conditions were taken into consideration in the design of the materials they're going to be using, and so, which is something you referenced just now as well.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, you mentioned it. It's about making sure that the building functions for its specific needs and also addresses the issues that it will face in its context. Now, the issues that Darian brought up, they speak to what is called passive design in the industry, and what that does or speaks to is basically having aspects of the architectural language address issues of ventilation, shading, and all that sort of thing, without having to utilize mechanical means to do so, which in of itself is considered sustainable and environmentally friendly design. And when you look at the old wattle and daub and shingle homes you find throughout the island still, those that stood up to all sorts of hurricanes, etc., etc., and they have the fretwork to allow for ventilation up at the top, just underneath the roof, etc. That is passive design in of itself. Now, obviously that can't be applied to a commercial building, that specific aspect of it. But again, just taking into consideration those particular pieces of language of architecture to then make the building itself function properly, be energy efficient, not just in terms of energy consumption, but again in terms of waste and water, etc. And ensure that, what is presented is, a beautiful piece of art, but ultimately functions properly. And that is why I made the reference to many a time. It's just a case of people flexing their ego to show that they can come with the most avant-garde type looking structure there is.
Without the let's
consideration
say,
of those other things.
For form, form, function, absolutely. I agree with you because take for example, we are yet to know about maybe how power is going to be addressed in terms of. Are there going to be solar arrays for to offset some of the power needs? Battery storage for the soul, all of that kind of stuff. I would love to hear because, if you're building a building like it's at this point in time, you need to go whole hog and make sure the building is as efficient on all sorts of fronts as possible.
Well, I would say that is the case that we should be taking with all of our buildings moving forward, period, whether they be residential, commercial, industrial, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely. I really would like to hear some more callers on this front. I'm here looking for Darian Fleming's presentation, and I think as soon as I can cue it up here, I'm multitasking here as we speak. So as soon as I can get that queued up here, I'm thinking to play it because I think you'll find that interesting. Anything else you want to add?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add in the meantime?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Great. It's a good start.
Thanks for your time.
Okay. Sure. No problem. Okay. So that was a caller addressing some of maybe the architectural and concerns. Feel free to give me a call. If no one's going to call, maybe I should go and get a word from our sponsor, and then I want to try and queue up the first of the Q&As that were held at the Creative Arts Center rollout.
Found the sound 98.9 WINN FM.
Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is again giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash back for free groceries with every hire purchase. Will be given back this coupon season. Happening now. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash back coupon to all our hire purchase customers this coupon season. Starting now until December 2023. You get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase at our Horseman's Furniture and Appliances stores on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. So riddle this. Where can you get quality furniture and appliances at great prices with a flexible FlexPlay plan and with absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase? Riddle that. Cashback at Horseman's Furniture and Appliances on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is giving you over $250,000 in cashback and a chance to win free groceries for a year. Riddle that cashback. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
This is a public service announcement.
Brace yourselves for the ultimate shopping extravaganza that you've been waiting for. Get ready to be blown away because double cashback coupon season has officially landed at Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Can you feel the excitement in the air? It's that magical time of year when Horseman's paves the way to your dreams by giving away millions in free groceries with every FlexPlay hire purchase.
But wait, there's more to this phenomenal offer.
Hold on to your seats because this is your chance to win an entire year of free groceries through the exhilarating double cashback season, double cashback promotion. Wait, Did I mention it's double cashback coupon season at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store? Don't delay. Come in today before it's too late and snatch up your double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
And we are back. Let's go straight back to the phone lines. I've got the first of the Q&As lined up. He's actually an architect, so he's someone we should be paying attention to. But okay, here go the phones. Voices, you're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi,
good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Okay.
Yeah, I've been listening to you and your discourse. And good afternoon to all the listeners at home and abroad. And condolences to all those who are grieving. I heard two of my villagers gone, Anita Hobson from Trafalgar, and I learned of Harris. They're from St. John's Village. So all those who are grieving, no matter where you're from, God cares about you. Good afternoon, Journey. Now, the area you're talking about is Ponds Estate.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's Ponds.
Okay.
Needmos is further up.
Oh, so
now we're back. We are back at the issue with the water, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if it is against the hill, the parking lots and so with the vehicles to park would be on the same water table story.
Yes. Yeah, there's
and
that.
you did ask a question about the waste.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't move the Basel High School from the area on that issue and then put something there that could have more vehicles and stuff there.
And actually directly over.
Is the developer open to make an adjustment to his plans?
Yes, they
did.
They did say that this is why they were having the Q&A and the consultation, that they will be taking on board whatever.
But is it a replica of the one in Dubai?
Unclear.
I don't know.
Unclear. They said that if you maybe if you don't have a nuanced way of looking at English comprehension, you might say yes, it's a copy of the one, but it's unclear. They reference the fact that it was probably based on a building made in Dubai, which we should probably be careful and not assume that it was
English kind of looking kind of buildings.
Yeah.
And we have been striving for Bastia, but down there's Outer Bastia, to have a certain historical kind of look.
Yeah.
And
but to
there
me,
was a suggestion that while it is a good idea, certain aspect of what we were looking for, like for the performing arts in terms of capacity,
yes,
and the possibility of having some of the carnival events up there, you know, so that they could be open to taking the ideas into thing before you go and build it. Because I heard somebody referring to it, it looked like a shopping mall.
Yeah, I think what they were referring to was the fact that the developers pointed out the fact that the building was going to have to pay for itself, so that required having facilities and spaces that would house things like restaurants, bars, a cinema, and so on, which makes sense, right?
Yeah, because you're going to have function. You should have, but it should still...
And shops and so on, yeah.
Yeah, but we are still in the 21st century. It must be something unique. This is what sometimes people have cussed the king, the English king. But he spoke about the architecture. Some of them, like boxes, you know?
Yes.
Like you put cube on top of cube.
Yeah.
So it should have some reflection, since we're talking about our creative arts. It should represent us. And so I hope Lawrence would convey to his clients that while we do appreciate what they're doing, and by the way, who own it? Will we be paying rent? Because that will cross my mind,
Unclear.
Huh?
Unclear.
But we should know. We should know,
Well, if the developer said that the building has to pay for itself and so on, that you could argue that implies that the building, maybe it's some kind of public-private partnership. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, sometimes we ask the questions after the incident, because I'm saying, if it is not our building, or we don't have no financial input into it, because believe me, it is going to be backed by our citizens, our passport. Are you aware of that?
Yes, and I know that it seems as though the developers bought the land, so that might be part of the answer there. So maybe the building.
I thought they were building a hotel up there one time.
Yes, interesting, huh?
What happened to that?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Because that's groundbreaking and everything.
Yeah.
So we have to ask questions, think about it. Why can't, I heard my man saying yesterday, Harris, former PM, my 700 million, Mr. Mihelba, it's a lot of money there.
Yeah.
We could make better investment, because we're talking about the one for the basketball and all of those kind of things,
Yeah.
If you want to put on something, do it one time. Because the next thing
But I get the impression though that the whatever sporting facilities are being considered will be separate from this, which I don't really necessarily have an issue with that.
No, but we're talking about land space,
Yeah, but I mean there are some let's say there are some footprints that exist at the moment that could be repurposed for sporting facilities.
Of course.
I mean,
even up the place where they got the basketball.
Exactly.
The whole place, take down the community center.
Exactly. And move the government offices from there. I mean, the government has a building.
They could move them. Because look, you see down Church Street.
And then also
long piece from the Treasury building on the corner of Central and Church Street.
Yeah.
Up to the Sierra place. It was, the plan and the design was to take on the old Labor Department building and put up a government financial building.
A finance
Ministry
building.
of Finance. And if you go up 3 stories, you have everything covered.
But here's another problem I have. This is something I talk about all the time. Sometimes I really think that it's either I'm an idiot or the people who I'm addressing these things to are idiots. And I don't really think I'm an idiot.
It's ignorant.
Ignorant
me, you don't know.
Ignorant
don't mean stupid.
Here's what I mean.
I understand what you're saying,
You have an urban area on a small island, and people are still building 2 stories and 3 stories. That makes no sense.
No, it make no sense. It don't make any sense. And,
I do not understand
the government owns so many. What are they going to do with the courthouse, the High Court? You're talking about the one on George Street with the High Court.
What do you mean?
I look like it's abandoned now.
Yeah, well, that's another story. But my point is, anywhere you go where you have where land is at a premium, especially in an urban area, any conurbation, it could be Sandy Point. In the center of Sandy Point, you're gonna have the same problem. The land is scarce. We need some additional space. You need to start using all 3 dimensions, because for practical purposes, 2 and 3 stories is not using all 3 dimensions in my book.
No,
you know what I mean?
They have them already. They have them.
You use the sky, And so all these ideas of we don't want these high buildings. Yeah, but what's
All you got to do is change the law.
what's the rationale for not wanting a high building? Just because you don't want a high building?
No, I think people say, well, if you have so many low buildings and you put a high one, then there's no privacy to the property around it.
That's ridiculous.
So I would say.
I don't know where people come with this. I don't know where people get this stuff from.
I think that's a lie,
That's
Some
a lot.
places you cannot get permission. But I don't. We're busy renting. We're busy renting.
And it brings us back to thank you, Miss Henry, and it brings us back to the question of the housing that was announced, 2,400 housing. They still have not said, are we going to have a mix?
But it don't make no sense what they're saying.
A mix of multi-story, yes, a mix of multi-story buildings to maximize land use.
They put down apartment. The 2 and 3 and is poor people housing, I call them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe people come with ideas. All right, thank you for your idea. But given our constraint, can we have a constraint? Our constraint is land.
But there's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on because they know that there are land constraints, yet they still choose to embark on paths which run counter to fixing the problem.
To our best interest, you must say.
Exactly. So you
Our
hear,
best interest.
2,400 homes. What are you going to do? You're going to build all these
But that is the
bungalows,
question,
taking up all the land, rather than at least having some of those 2,400 homes be apartment buildings, condos, whatever.
That's where they put up some on Wellington Road.
Yeah,
so
but
they can't say that they don't want.
3 stories.
The one on West Street going to be a 3-story.
And the thing is, at the previous government, I think they showed a lack of vision. Right there in the heart of Bastille, you go back and you do 3 stories? Really? Those should have been 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stories.
Our people live in them, And when we go in America, they live on the 30th floor.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
That's where they live, up in the sky. I don't know. God help us.
That whole ground floor could have been parking, and the apartments could have started on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
That whole ground floor could have been parking.
People come in with ideas to them, right? And all they say is yes. It's a good idea without making any input. So we act desperate. Look, we appreciate you want to put down so and so and so and so. But you explain your constraint because you have a land use plan. They have more than one. So, well, given our constraint in terms of land space and land use, it would be better if you take your thing up. But sometimes we act so desperate. Well, if we make any suggestion, they might take up the project and go with it. Some people better they take up the project and go with it. You don't think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you got a woman and she wants to, we can buy a car. Well, if you don't buy a car, you got to be a Rolls Royce and you don't kind of foolish thing. So all right, darling, we're going to walk. Somebody let me tell her, but darling, make up your mind to walk.
Yeah.
So sometimes...
I'm glad you also raised the point about, since we're talking about buildings and so on, you raised the point yet again, and this is, I know I'm going to say this, and it's going to go unaddressed, and the government continues, successive government after successive administration, renting all over the place.
I'm telling you, look.
Why
aren't they? It's a racket. I don't care who makes. I say it already. Say it again. It's a racket.
Why aren't they
building? They're paying the mortgage for their friend property.
Why aren't they building some government complexes and moving the offices there? And these complexes can even include auditoriums that the government can rent out and not have to necessarily spend all this money for conferences at hotel conference rooms.
Look, the E.B. Daniel building. You take a look at it?
Am I an idiot to be thinking this stuff? Somehow I don't think I'm an idiot. I'm not that bright, but I don't think I'm an idiot.
You don't got to be bright, you got to be intelligent. And don't be smart neither. The song said they're smart, they're too smart.
I mean,
may the Lord give our leaders my way criticizing you all, But we who know better, we have a right to speak up, because when it comes to the 2,400 houses, they have, before they put down anything, they now know what the population feel about it. They now know the constraints. Nothing has been said about the amount of land they're going to use. And why not, the same way they went back to make the plan, the house a little bigger. Go up. If that kind of technology cannot be used, then you use the kind we use it now. You follow? Because maybe look how it is going to be panel, this and that.
I mean, as I've said about that, the Cadence Center, that's I actually like the name, actually. I hope that's the name they keep if they do it. The Cadence Center. It has a nice ring to it. So, my thing is...
Who name it so?
I think it's the French developers. I don't know. I'm assuming.
Hello, tell them, please.
It's a French,
if
it's
it
a
is our
French word.
creative arts, it must be something that relates to us. No, I mean, we got to get straight to it. Our culture, you have Caribbean, you have African, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Why this song is not us? It's still not us.
True. And we're never going to be able to. We are never going to be able to.
We could, you know, sometimes we blame people for things that we don't suggest. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we say, oh, well, they wouldn't do it. And then if people say, well, you didn't say it. It's like you got Port Zanted and kind of foolishness. You know? Sometimes we could make suggestions. It is going to be a creative art. You know what I mean?
But Miss Henry, like I said, I'm actually out of time. The questions I was gonna maybe I'll do well. I'm assuming Socrates will be back next week. So, but I was planning to play each question in turn to generate discussion. But no, I'm finished now. But the thing is, I should take pains to point out that the minister, the creative specialist Masher, and the developers took pains to point out that the reasons they were meeting with the people, the creatives, was they wanted to take their comments and suggestions on board and their concerns. So it means that so I'll take that in good faith.
Yeah.
You know.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
As you just say, you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Now you may have. I could talk now because nobody could fire me. I retired 20 years ago. Now what I'm saying is this: sometimes they ask you just to see if for them to sort you out. You understand?
Yeah.
Because they themselves must know. I mean, Duggins must know. He's a creative person. It should reflect us.
But I had this discussion with my wife. How does reflect us? Describe that.
All right. Remember, I'm telling you, our creative arts. I mean, even this thing.
Are you talking about the appearance of the building, or are you talking about the functionality of the building?
If you want to change the thing, the name of the building should reflect our culture. Since it's going to be a creative arts thing.
Actually, if you pronounce...
that's not our culture.
But probably, if you pronounce that word the way the French, it would be cadence, right?
Watch me.
I'm serious.
Watch me.
We have a whole subgenre of Caribbean music called cadence from Dominica.
Not here, Dominica, St. Lucia.
Oh, whatever.
No, we got to get, you call Africa, them to get African name for it. I mean, we got to get serious, you know?
Yeah.
We already been outnumbered according to the passport story. We got to put our name on things.
I agree.
Jamaica, Miss Lou, you know, something like that.
Okay, Miss Henry, I'm out of time. I have to get out of here, but I'm definitely gonna revisit this when I have time for sure, because you know.
All right then.
Yes.
God
okay.
bless. God bless.
Okay.
God bless us all.
You too. Okay, folks. So I'm going to have to This is the end of Voices. I'm about, 3 minutes over time. So here's hoping everyone has a great weekend, and we'll be back next week. I'll be back with you next week for Island Tea, and hopefully Socrates will return next week. It's 1:33. Everyone have a great weekend.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM.
The future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.